If you've ever heard of a male genital piercing, it's probably the Prince Albert, by far the most popular male genital piercing out there. This is a Prince Albert piercing, otherwise known as the PA. It's super simple. It just goes in the urethra, out the base of the head. This is an anatomy-dependent piercing as far as the placement goes. There is a little frenum cord running right down the center, and if it is thick enough, you don't really want to pierce through that. A lot of times we go on one side or the other. The other thing I want to talk about is circumcision. If you are uncircumcised, a lot of times this piercing can be very uncomfortable and doesn't work very well. I have seen some people heal it up being uncircumcised, but traditionally you want to be circumcised for this piercing. Now, as far as the jewelry option goes, you have the three main options here. You can do a curved barbell, a circular barbell, or the captive bead ring. All of these pieces of jewelry should be at a minimum of an 8 gauge when it's getting pierced. Personally, I pierce at a 10, stretch to the 8 to minimize bleeding because there will be some bleeding on this piercing as well. Now, this piercing does bleed a little bit, so don't let that surprise you. Sometimes you might bleed for several days. Now, as far as the healing goes, it's a pretty easy piercing as long as you can keep the piercing clean and the crusties off your jewelry. A lot of guys will end up with night erections, and if an erection pulls those crusties in, it's going to sting, hurt, and really irritate it. So a little tip for you. Go to sleep with a cup of ice water next to your bed. Another common issue people have is they don't drink enough water. The less water you drink, the more concentrated your urine gets, and it's going to sting and hurt when you urinate. So the more water you drink, the clearer it gets and the easier it is to urinate. Now, the other thing is your urine is sterile to your own body, so the more you're urinating during this healing process, the more you're cleaning it. So it's actually a good thing. Ow, right? Weird. I thought it was going to be way higher than that. Now, personally, I've had mine done before, and the uncomfortable part about this is the receiving tube. Because when the piercing is done, there's a tube that goes down the urethra to catch the piercing needle. That, in my opinion, is actually worse than the actual piercings. So it's uncomfortable? Yeah, for sure, but it goes quick. So don't let pain be a factor. I know you're going to be scared, but it's worth it. This is kind of one of those love-hate relationships as far as piercings go with me. I love this piercing because it's easy to stretch, so you can have a larger gauge piece of jewelry in there, and it is more comfortable. A lot of you wonder, how can someone have a 0 or double 0 in there? Well, it's more comfortable, and that shock factor is a lot of fun. Another reason why I'm not a big fan of this piercing, me personally, is when I had mine done, mine was done not at the best angle, and I actually now have to sit when I urinate because a lot of it actually shoots down to the left for me and about 2/3 up and to the right. You might be giggling right now, but it is a factor and it's something I have to deal with for the rest of my life. So keep that in mind. Some people can actually kind of turn it and actually urinate while standing. Some people can't. I'm one of the unlucky ones where I now have to sit everywhere. So stop peeing on the seats. As far as a first genital piercing, I'm not a real big fan. There are other piercings like frenums, scrotum piercings, which I will be doing videos on, so stay tuned for those. But they're a much easier way to start off the genital piercing. Not everyone ends up with just one genital piercing. It generally is like the rest of the body. You just keep going, and it's fun. So obviously you see that I am starting a new genital piercing series. And if there's something more or something you'd like to see in these videos, let me know in the comments below. So if you like this, give me a like, subscribe. Of course, keep putting holes in your body. We'll see you all in the next video.